Welcome to another episode of Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is a special edition because we have it's a pay-per-view weekend, or the pay-per-view has passed.
Yep.
So it's going to be an extended edition. Oh my gosh. Is this the Hurricane pinning R-Truth?
Comic-Con, baby.
The Hurricane? At Comic-Con? Oh my gosh. What is this I'm seeing?
On the IGN stage.
Oh man. What is this I'm seeing? I'm sure you have more background on this, so Thili.
Yeah, so, I mean, there's not too much background. It's just that IGN is, I mean, you know, everyone knows IGN. They're a huge video game and, you know, film and TV review and preview site. Been around fucking forever. But they've always had a pretty decent relationship with WWE people. When WWE 2K19 came out, they're the ones who were partnering with WWE to do the AJ Styles $1 million tower challenge.
Okay.
So they've always had some, you know, light affiliations with the WWE in some places when it's you know, appropriate. And from what I understand, someone backstage had gotten to Vincent and explained to him how, you know, how huge Comic-Con is every year. Like every single year, a long time ago, that got Vincent to, you know, making sure that they had a presence there every year because, you know, why wouldn't you?
Yeah.
And this year, he decided, since they're doing the 24/7 title, it can be defended anywhere, it can be challenged for by any WWE legend or present superstar. You know, let's have it happen with IGN during an interview with R-Truth, and have, you know, someone come up. There's a little bit of warning ahead of time. There was something like a dirt sheet thing that came up 2 days earlier that said that WWE is planning a 24/7 segment at Comic-Con. I honestly thought it would just be something that they filmed randomly in the crowd or whatever like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they did it during an IGN interview with R-Truth. And it's great. It's all up on YouTube. Definitely go check it out. It's on IGN's YouTube. It's on, I believe it's also on WWE's YouTube. Definitely worth checking out. Who doesn't love Hurricane Helms, man?
The Hurricane. He was undercover, he was one of my favorite characters. He was such a geek, but he was so funny as hell. He was like, honestly, he was like R-Truth in a way. Like the R-Truth character, like, he was so spaced out. Well, not really spaced out, but like out of touch with what was going on. Yeah,
and out of touch with reality more specifically. Like he thought he was a superhero. He thought he was a mild-mannered reporter by day and a superhero by night. So it was great. And you know what? To be totally fair, as I'm thinking about it, I don't think I get to a place where I see wrestling the way I do without Hurricane Helms.
Okay.
Like the way that he so upfront and not subtly brought the comic book world into the wrestling world, two things that I was a huge fan of already. It made me realize how similar the two are, and it helps me learn storytelling.
Thili, like I have to interject. You need to help me hijack Raw on Monday.
Okay.
You need to help me hijack Raw on Monday because it's my birthday. I'm gonna fuck with them. I want a happy birthday shout out. You know what I mean? Straight out. That's how we gonna get it. Because it's Shawn Michaels' birthday too, right?
It is, yeah, and it's the Raw reunion episode.
Yeah, man. So there's gonna be all kinds of old school, like Shawn Michaels, Stone Cold, fucking.
Yeah.
Yo, man, listen.
Bret Hart turned down the invitation. Bret was gonna go, but he decided not to.
I don't blame him.
No, I don't blame him either. I mean, last time he went to a WWE event, he got tackled by some fucking psychopath.
Exactly. Exactly. So I can't say I blame him. But the psychopath got his ass beat. Oh.
By who? By who?
Top guy.
Top guy.
Okay. Speaking of which, oh man, we just ordered some shirts of yeah, but we didn't get your team. Like we thought about it, but like we kind of us here in the Terrell household, we're kind of like we're split indifferent between the Usos and the New Day, so we got a couple of shirts.
There you go.
You know what I mean? So we're gonna be.
Oh, you don't even got to worry about the split between them since they're on different brands right now. So now everybody can love both.
Exactly.
But more importantly, you should all change your mind and support Top Guys.
I mean, like the Top Guys are tough still. Like they put on a show. They put on a show. Like that Shatter Machine.
It was spectacular.
Bro, just know if I have to call in a tag team partner to drop a Shatter Machine, like I'm looking at you.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. We will Shatter Machine the fuck out of a motherfucker.
I thought the 3D was like the 3D is a tough move too. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic.
It is
but
just
I like the Shatter Machine more
because it's the knees to the face. Like you're not waking up from that.
Yeah, it's a 3D mixed with a code breaker.
Yes, basically.
It's fucking amazing.
Basically, yes. But I still want to hear that Que Paso.
I know you do.
Damn it. I want it. Like, even if he just lets it slip out accidentally, just Que Paso. Because Jenny tweets the WWE every time we do Tough Talks, eh?
The what?
Jenny tweets the WWE every time we do Tough Talks.
Okay, so that's how they're getting all our shit. She's not tweeting them. She's just DMing them our ideas.
Yo, honestly, bro, I'm showing you they're listening, bro. They have someone to listen to what that's about the WWE. Let's listen to it. See if they got any good information for us.
I will say it's not something I would put past Vince to have like a team of 6 people on staff that's entire job is to listen to every single podcast that covers WWE.
Oh my
that pops up
God.
and tell them anything that gets said.
Could you imagine being on that staff?
I would love it.
Oh my gosh, I'd listen to.
I'm basically already doing that job anyways.
That's what I'm saying, yo. That's exactly what I'm saying. Like, yo, listen. Let me tell you the truth. I'm gonna tell you the truth about the Terrell effect, okay? Before we started Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock, there was little to no color representation on the staff on the broadcasting staff. Okay?
Oh, for a second, I thought you meant of the Terrell effect, and I was like, you have self-identification issues, my friend. You need a new mirror.
Oh man, I didn't really fuck with mirrors.
People.
The most I use a mirror is when I'm shaving, and then I'm just like, fuck it.
You got some weird funhouse mirror that makes you look white, and you're like, oh man, we don't have any colored staff.
No, I mean like on the commentary, like before Booker T and the coach.
I know what you mean.
Okay.
Because when you first said it, I'm listen. Full disclosure to anybody listening, I'm high as a motherfucker right now.
Yo, I'm smoking a blunt as we speak.
And before you got to on commentary or backstage thing, all I was thinking was he's talking about the Terrell effect. He's talking about the Terrell effect, and then no colored staff, and I was like, wait a second. that can't be the Terrell effect.
No, I was saying on WWE.
Yeah, on WWE.
There was like, if you go back like 2-3 years, like 3, maybe 4 years.
It would have to be 4 because I've been back watching for 3.
Yeah, 4. So it would have to be 4 years ago. Yeah, 4 years ago. And then Booker T came on, and then the coach came on, and then I don't know how the women's revolution started.
I love. Can I just say how much I love the fact that you didn't include Byron, who was first?
Oh shit, Byron came on too. My bad, Byron.
Byron, you're too white.
Yeah, no, Byron was on first. Byron was on first. You're right.
They had all those white guys like Michael Cole and Byron Saxton, and then they brought on Booker T.
Oh my gosh! Listen, man, yo, I can feel Byron's pain because I've been overlooked based on my the way I sound. This is terrible. but we haven't even gotten into the pay-per-view yet. We're not even into the pay-per-view.
It's too much. All right, yeah, here, you get that up. I'm just gonna pull up the pay-per-view results.
Shout out to Byron Saxton for representing me on. I think for representing me on screen. Straight up, Booker T. Yeah, I can't even say I'm as G as Booker T right now, but I know me and Byron have.
Who is as G as Booker T?
Stevie Ray, bro. Stevie Ray. Question.
That's true. Stevie Ray's the G.
Stevie Ray.
Stevie Ray has definitely killed people before.
Doesn't he look like it though?
That's what I'm saying, bro. You look at that guy, it's like you have killed someone at least by accident once.
At least. Like a clothesline just broke his throat or something.
Something, bro. He was so stiff in the ring. So stiff. He would, and I don't mean that he wasn't fluid and looked great. He looked awesome, but he was stiff as fuck. He would really hit someone. What's his name? The way Steamboat. The way Ricky Steamboat would describe Bobby Roode. He was a little snug. He you knew he was there. That's for sure.
Oh wow. Oh shit.
All right, let's get into this pay-per-view. Let's do it.
All right. Take the lead.
All right, so one second. I just have the results thing up. I'm sorry.
Huh?
Sorry, everybody. Oh. Okay, so first one, Shinsuke Nakamura defeats Finn Balor to become the new Intercontinental Champion. Oh my God. Sorry, their website is stupid when it comes to these, the pay-per-view results. The King, as they say, has returned. Just weeks after eyeing Finn Balor's Intercontinental Championship during a tense backstage confrontation, Shinsuke Nakamura dethroned the Irishman to begin his first reign with the prestigious title, bringing Balor's second stint to an abrupt and stunning end and returning the King of Strong Style to the Champions Club for the first time since he lost the United States title in January. Balor, who lost a non-title tilt to the King of Strong Style this past Tuesday, certainly knew Nakamura had a spring in his step and came out swinging in an attempt to stifle the Japanese striker out of the gate. It might have worked too, but it became very clear that Nakamura was not about to be denied. WWE's Rockstar came into this match promising a return to form and delivered on that promise by tenderizing the champion with several brutal knees and elbows, even adding a new wrinkle or two in the form of a sliding snap German suplex. I watched this back finally. That snap suplex was savage. The mounting force of the challenger forced Balor into the win now mode, and the Irishman ascended to the top rope to attempt a coup de grace the second he connected with his running dropkick. But Nakamura had more than enough left in the tank to dodge the maneuver. A pair of Kinshasas, one to the back of Balor's head and one straight in the face as he staggered to his feet, sealed the victorious effort, the return to form, and a new championship reign. Shinsuke Nakamura may have never left per se, but it's safe to say he's back. I agree with that fully. That fucking match was incredible. I can't fucking believe it was on the pre-show.
Well, they had to do something to pull people in.
I know, but that's one of those things where that's the first time Finn Balor and Shinsuke Nakamura have ever faced each other. Ever.
Exactly why they put it on the pre-show.
That could have been the opening match and would have been a barn burner.
But it was still.
It was still a barn burner. I just wish more people were in the arena to see
a lot more people tune into the free live than do to. I find a lot of people might tune into the live that's free more than they tune into the what's it called?
The pay-per-view.
The pay-per-view.
Yeah, I feel that for a home audience, but it's also one of those things where the crowd in the arena usually isn't the show.
Yeah.
And so you don't get as big pop. Like, there could have been a huge pop when Shinsuke hit that second Kinshasa in the 3 count. Like, that 1, 2, 3 could have been so massively screamed.
Yeah, but
it's still very good. I'm nitpicking there. It's just, like, if I had to pick something that I didn't like about it, that would be it. But as we'll see as we go through the rest of the card, this was a fucking banger of a pay-per-view.
Yeah, there was still. Did I get to see the whole thing? Was I on the road? I was home. I was home for it. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
I must
amazing.
have been really elevated. Really elevated.
Yeah, I am also elevated. And elevating. You want to get Drew Gulak versus Tony Nese?
I don't even have the pay-per-view thing up.
Oh, okay. Okay, no worries. WWE Cruiserweight Champion Drew Gulak defeated Tony Nese.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
If there was any kind of asterisk attached to Drew Gulak's WWE Cruiserweight title victory last month, it was that he didn't pin then-champion Tony Nese to achieve it during a triple threat match that also included Akira Tozawa. But the events of Extreme Rules kickoff put any lingering uncertainties to rest as Gulak stifled the premier athlete in a hard-hitting one-on-one match to keep his reign alive. Nese, nevertheless, put in an impressive performance in the most hostile of territories. Gulak is a proud Philadelphian, and the WWE Universe in attendance had no brotherly love for the premier athlete, showering the former champion with vitriol each time he fought his way into the advantage. Nese, who prides himself on in-ring perfection, also wasn't afraid to switch up his game to a more ugly, effective style. After ruthlessly German suplexing the challenger into the turnbuckles, the champion withstood Nese's moonsault off the ring post when Nese was strung up on the ropes and fought through the pain of a 450 that saw Nese land knees first into the title holder's sternum. Gulak, however, was simply unwilling to accept defeat. Gulak's technical mastery came into play at the end when champion and challenger traded counters on counters. Their long history came into play as they each very clearly knew what the other was capable of. Gulak brought the scrap back to his wheelhouse with a simple yet punishing stack-up powerbomb, and it was just a short way from here to the Cyclone Crash that ended the match. Given that Gulak was beginning to get a little wide-eyed right before he administered the devastating maneuver, the message to any future opponents was clear. He'll accept any challengers and entertain any effort to defeat him until the second he decides the match is over. From then on, there's simply nothing to be done.
The match saw some devastating... We in the Caribbean call them bitch licks, but some devastating blows, bro. Lord have mercy. Can Gulak throw hands?
Oh my god, yes. The man is he is severely underrated as a wrestler. Like, as an in-ring performer, he is severely underrated by the majority of people, I think. Because he is stunningly good at what he does. Like, yep. Just watching him, it's one of those times where, you know, when someone is just so good at what they do, and what they do could be literally anything. Like, it could be drawing, it could be writing, it could be anything like that. But when someone is that good at what they do, just watching them is inspiring.
This is true. I try to be that good. There's the ego again. I have to be that good on stage, you know what I mean? Like, straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up. But yeah. Alright, that match, like, and there's nothing taken away from Tony Nese, you know what I mean? He is a premier athlete.
Tony's great too.
He put on a good effort, you know what I mean? But Gulak was just grimy with it.
Yeah, Gulak was on fire. Tony Nese is another one who I think is underrated because he was such a great heel. Like, he was so good at being a hateable bad guy because his body is ridiculous. Like, he's got the all of his entrance gear had the ab window. Like, the way that lots of girls have, like, the cleavage window on their gear.
Yep.
He had an ab window just to point at his fucking six-pack and count them off as he was fucking, like, walking down the ring. He was so hateable. And then they decided, let's try him as a face, and like just the face who, you know, he's a defending, he's a fighting champion, he's a fighter. He wants to get it in. He wants to go have competition. He wants to face the best. all of that. But, like, my God. Like, he's killing it as a face now. So, like, but Gulak is just on another level, I think. Gulak is unreal. He's so dedicated to what he does. He works so fucking hard to make sure everything comes off good. He's great. He's exactly what 205 Live needs.
Okay. All right.
So
nice.
Next up was The Undertaker and Roman Reigns defeat Shane McMahon and Drew McIntyre. I'm not a huge fan of the tag team name that they gave Roman and Undertaker. Did you catch the team name they? They're called the Graveyard Dogs.
Actually, yeah, I did hear it. I kind of like it.
Fair enough.
I kind of like it.
On like the Junkyard Dogs and the fact that they've both called the ring their yard and all that.
It
all
works.
That stuff. It's just kind of for me. It was just one of those things where I'm like, oh man.
Well, at least it's not like. At least they didn't do what they did with the War Raiders.
Yeah, no. Hey, no. I'm not saying this is the Viking experience by any stretch of the imagination. It's not. To be fair, it's not even as bad as Oriental Express Volume 2. I mean, the Kabuki Warriors.
Kabuki Warriors, bro. Kabuki Warriors. We can't say that on air without being seen as discriminated. Discriminated.
I'm not the one who made up the name. Vince is.
This is very true. So don't blame us for what Vince did.
I can't be blamed. That's madness.
Sorry, Mr. McMahon.
But speaking of though, they have to be champions soon.
Soon? I haven't even seen them on TV in the last month.
They were on TV Tuesday.
That I wasn't watching.
they had a match against the Iconics, but we'll get to that.
Iconics.
But anyways, yeah. So the Graveyard Dogs versus Shane O'Mac and Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre.
Yes, donkey. During his stint as the quote-unquote best in the world, Shane McMahon has made quite a few friends and one particular enemy in The Undertaker. And incurring the wrath of the Phenom was too much of a hill for Shane to climb. Even in a no-holds-barred tag team match that saw McMahon team officially with Drew McIntyre and benefit from some underhanded assistance from Elias. The Undertaker, of course, teamed with Roman Reigns, the FB winning champion who has been the target of McMahon and McIntyre's ire for months now. And though the dead man proclaimed that no particular allegiance to the big dog brought him into this fight, long story short, Shane simply had it coming. The two former rivals worked in perfect sync during Extreme Rules opening bout, with Reigns kicking things off and the Phenom providing the finishing touches. Flitting around the ring with the light feet and heavy hands, the last Outlaw Reigns blows down on Shane O'Mac in the corner and went strike for strike with McIntyre in a big man showdown that brought the crowd to its feet. It was only with the arrival of Elias, the McMahon ally with a long memory, that began to put the Phenom's performance in doubt. The Living Truth shattered a guitar over the Undertaker's back as the dead man was preparing to drive Shane through the announce table, and the interference put the Graveyard Dogs in a 3-on-2 disadvantage that had them back on their heels for some time. Not only did McIntyre dispose of Reigns with a Claymore, he helped Elias tee up the best in the world for a leap of faith that drove the Undertaker through the announce table. And Shane followed up with a garbage can assisted coast to coast that flattened Undertaker's face. Of course, the Phenom sat bolt upright after suffering those maneuvers and dished out chokeslams to both Shane and Elias. McIntyre lined up his foe for a Claymore, but Reigns intercepted the Scotsman with a bone-rattling spear and fed Shane O'Mac into a final tombstone piledriver for the win. Whether the loss is enough to humble Shane remains to be seen, but this match certainly showcased the best of everyone involved. Team Shane talked a good game and exploited every rule to back it up. Reigns stood his ground and fought straight up, refusing to back down, and The Undertaker, having risen as both avenging force and cosmic course corrector, did what any Reaper does when he comes upon a wayward soul. He sent them home. This match was so much better than it had any right to be. I already said this to you.
Yo, but wait, pause. Did I not say that it would though?
that is what I'm getting to.
Okay.
I'm getting to. I already told you this in our Facebook chat. But Jesus fuck, I apologize to you. I apologize to the Undertaker, because the Undertaker has looked better in this match than he has in the last 5 or 6 years. Like, he looks fucking incredible. Homeboy hit the gym hard. He is in damn good shape, especially for a man his age. He was starting to look a little bit like Kane looked now, under that top part of the tights with the big ass gut. But he was looking fucking amazing during this match. So I want more Undertaker. I want Undertaker back. I have completely 180'd on this.
Could you imagine the Graveyard Dogs winning the title?
No, I don't want that.
Oh yeah, because the top guys have it.
Well, that too. Top guy is my first thing I'll say to that. Top guy. Second thing that I'll say to that is I want to see them put Undertaker in matches with fucking young talent, old talent, anybody who can fucking make sure that he is like looking as amazing as he can. Because if they can do that for like one more run sort of thing, where he just runs through a bunch of motherfuckers, I'm so in. Like, I'm so into that. I don't necessarily want to see him in tag team matches all the time. Have them do a couple tag team matches. I'm totally down for them to have another one. But maybe do that. Maybe that's the way you start the next, like, the final, like, singles run of The Undertaker. Is you have him go heel on Roman Reigns.
Before Survivor Series.
Before Survivor Series, yeah. Or bear with me here. Bear with me. You have Roman Reigns go heel on The Undertaker.
Roman Reigns hasn't been heel.
Right?
No, wait. No, the Shield was heel, but that's not Roman Reigns.
They weren't, that's not straight Roman, and they weren't really. They were sort of heels.
They're anti-hero.
They were more anti-heroes.
Yeah.
They were kind of Stone Cold style anti-hero-ish.
Yeah.
But like for straight heel, imagine the heat if like Roman and Taker have a couple matches, win, and then they like, you know, lose to the top guys.
That's an interesting scenario. You know what? My WWE Supercard just went off. We're getting close, bro.
Yeah, and then fucking Roman goes heel. Actually, it wouldn't be against the top guys, because top guys are Raw and Roman is SmackDown. So
Taker's a wayward soul.
Yeah, so I think they would go to SmackDown, so they would be facing
the New Day.
The New Day. Oh my God! How
all titles, baby! All three, like yo.
I am down for that. We'll get
yo.
The New Day versus the Graveyard Dogs would be awesome.
That actually sounds like a very palatable card.
Yeah, that would be awesome. I would fuck with that huge. Yeah, book that. If you're gonna steal fucking ideas, book
there that. There you go, Vinnie Mac. Yo, I'm telling you this, eh? Yo, listen. You don't have to believe me, but ask God if you know. The WWE
ask God if you know that. I love that.
Don't you though? Isn't it great? I'm telling you. So before the WWE network even existed, I said to Vince McMahon, and I tweeted it to Vince McMahon, you can look it the fuck up. I said, I'm surprised with the amount of content the WWE owns that they don't have their own channel. Bro, the WWE network launched February 23rd, 2012 or 14?
Yeah.
February 23rd.
I think it was
14. I think it was 14.
I think.
February 23rd is my daughter's birthday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds right.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a coincidence. There's a coincidence, bro.
Big coinkydink.
He could have launched on any day of the year, bro. There's 365 of them. Okay? Wait. And then on the year before that, Rikishi signed my title on July 27th.
Yep.
So I get my title signed on July 27th, 2013. Rikishi goes into the Hall of Fame the following year, so 2014. And that's after they launched the WWE network.
Yep.
And changed their title so that you could replace the belts.
Sons of bitches.
The Terrell effect, man.
The fucking Terrell effect, dog.
The Terrell effect. I'm showing you. So now that we know someone like yourself who knows about it before it happens, or knows about it's happening while it's happening, like this is tough talks. Like, it's gonna be tough to top these talks because you're talking to Thili and Dablock. Yes. Oh man. It is what it is, and it is what it will be. Okay, next match. What's up?
Yes, next match we have the Raw Tag Team Champions, top guy, the Usos.
Why do you say it like you're trying to sneak a cookie out of the cookie jar or some shit?
Top guys.
Top guys.
I will say that as many times as I can every single episode. Top guys. So 7 times we'll have to wait for the Usos. Jimmy and Jay were brutally rebuffed by the Raw Tag Team Champions.
It wasn't brutal.
It was brutal. It was clean as a whistle too. Who put on a classic?
Was it clean? Was it clean? Oh my
God! I've told you this. Like I said in the chat, if the ref didn't see it, it didn't happen.
Whatever.
Clean as a whistle.
Oh, okay.
If there was any type of superstar that could conceivably thwart Dash and Dawson's throwback style of competition, it was the Usos, who are just as likely to administer a barrage of super kicks and suicide dives as they are wrist locks and punches. Indeed, the match began as a battle of old school versus new school, with Dash and Dawson using every trick in the storied tag team books. They pulled moves from Demolition and Power and Glory, while also using the ref to their advantage in the wheelin' dealin' style of the Four Horsemen when they distracted him from an Uso tag. See? Ref didn't see it. Didn't happen. I don't even know why this guy wrote about it.
What the hell? What the hell? Injustice! I'm calling injustice right now!
No, this was justice. The top guys remain the top guys. That's how justice works. Otherwise, the nickname means nothing.
Bro, I don't know, man.
Clean as a whistle, dog.
Okay. Must be a dog whistle, cause bro, it must be a dog whistle, cause I ain't never heard of no shit like that.
It's beautiful. Yeah, you have. 4 Horsemen did it. Are you calling the 4 Horsemen cheaters?
I'm saying they bent the rules to their benefit on more than one occasion.
Bent but never broke, my friend. Clean as a whistle. The Usos, meanwhile, simply brawled their way out of the hole, countering each of Dash and Dawson's carefully planned maneuvers with the freewheeling, high-flying style that made them 6-time tag team champions. It seemed that would be enough, as they had the champs lined up for a double suicide dive, but Scott Dawson yanked Jey Uso out of the ring by his ankles, and legal man Dash Wilder went to work, planning Jimmy with a step-up tornado DDT and rope-a-doping his way into position for a shatter machine from the top guys, that ended the match and kept their reign alive. The Usos will leave Philadelphia licking their wounds and taking consolation where they can find it. Nobody watching this match could deny they're as good as they say they are. The same, of course, goes for the Revival, who compare themselves to the Greats and back it up with in the most important way possible. They just keep winning. Top guys. So yeah, That was a fucking phenomenal match. Me and you both messaged each other basically at the exact same time when this match ended, saying the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Where we were just like, that was a fucking tag team match.
That is bonkers, bro.
Oh my god. One of the best tag team matches I've seen in a while.
I know. The only thing that would have made it better is if the Usos would have won, but that's okay.
The Usos?
The Usos, you know? The Usos! You know?
They cheat. I don't
what?
I don't like their
Yo, listen,
style.
Being awesome at what you do isn't cheating unless you suck at life.
Hey, I don't know. They, I think they're putting something in their boots before those super kicks.
Yeah, man, some sauce. They put that sauce.
We need a camera to stay on them just before those super kicks, a little closer.
Yeah,
I think they're cheating.
They put the sauce on the super kick.
All right, next one.
Man. All right, this is too much. Go ahead.
All right. Aleister Black defeated Cesaro, which I'm going to be honest. I did not think this match was going to happen. I thought for sure this was where Bray was going to come out, but
no, you skipped over that.
But my other prediction is what came up. I had two options that I had, and one of them was Cesaro getting his ass whooped by Bray. But I think I'm just. We'll get to what happened, and I'm very happy with what happened.
Didn't that happen on the pre-show, bro?
This could have been on the pre-show.
No, what happened with Wyatt happened on the pre-show.
I didn't see that part of the pre-show, I guess.
Wasn't it on the pre-show?
No.
Yeah, bro.
That was on Raw.
Yeah, on Raw? Okay, never mind. My bad.
It's one of the headlines on Raw.
Okay, let me scroll. Let me scan.
But yeah, in the 3 months since WrestleMania, Aleister Black has spent his SmackDown career locked in a room, waiting for someone to seek him out for a fight. Rod Cesaro, a.k.a. Jaws from James Bond, answered, and it's safe to say both superstars got the brawl they wanted out of the impromptu challenge. But it was Black who got the win, downing the Swiss Cyborg after a furious back and forth that featured just as much psychological warfare as it did in-ring excellence. Cesaro showed no respect to the ominous man from Amsterdam. That's a crazy nickname.
Ominous man from Amsterdam.
I like it.
Yeah,
the
it
man
flows.
From Amsterdam, going for the neutralizer almost immediately and mocking the former NXT champion's contemplative cross-legged taunt. Black, however, did not allow himself to be rattled. Focusing the full scope of his offense on kicking the former United States champion in the thigh in an attempt to sap Cesaro of his strength, it seemed for a while like it wouldn't work. Cesaro blasted Black with every variation of European uppercut, leaving the Dutch Destroyer.
The French uppercut, the Dutch uppercut, the English uppercut, the UK uppercut. He threw him in the air and said, damn, that's an uppercut. Bounced off the ropes and said, here's another uppercut. Put him on the corner and said, uppercut.
that crazy flying one at the, right before the Black Mask was fucked up.
Oh my gosh.
So good. That was the one that made me hit you up with a message of yo, what the fuck?
The very European uppercut.
Yeah, exactly. That was the European supercut.
Oh man.
leaving the Dutch Destroyer Steam Stars and knocking out by the skin of his teeth. The strategy paid dividends down the line, but Cesaro ended up switching to submission, a ground game that strike-based Black struggled to find an answer for. Find an answer, however, he did. With his strength beginning to wear down, Black turned instead to his speed, unleashing a flurry of quick strikes that the more methodical Cesaro was unable to rally in time to answer. It was all Cesaro could do to block one of Black's high knee strikes, but he had barely lowered his hands before the Dutch Destroyer whirled around and connected with a savage Black Mask kick to the jaw. Cesaro dropped like a rock, Black made the cover, and the battle was over. Should the Dutch Destroyer opt to return to his room, however, might we suggest leaving the door open for Cesaro or whoever else decides to walk through? Fights like these are too good to live without. I agree.
It was a fight.
It was a fucking fight. They were beating the shit out of each other.
Like, they had no remorse. Like, those uppercuts were not nice, bro. Like, it was like the first two hits were like, okay, this is how hard I'm gonna go. This is how hard I'm gonna go. And then they just went. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no, they absolutely went.
Shit. Again, the very European uppercut. Why are you getting thrown in the air and landing to a bicep? Forearm bicep, just dish. Like I like when Michael Cole goes bang. You know what I mean? It's just you gotta know it with the bam. It's like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like bang. It's just, oh man. All right.
It's so good. It's so good. So next match was SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley defeats Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. I am not used to being on your side where I gotta read all this nonsense.
Yeah, bro. Welcome to
show. I feel your pain.
It's my world and we're all living in it.
So once again, I will say, I knew they couldn't take that belt off Bayley yet because it would look like she was being punished.
Yeah, okay. His WWE math is accurate, ladies and gentlemen. Mm-hmm. And, like, there's only so many...
WWE mathematician.
You're a what?
A WWE mathematician.
WWE mathematician. Yes. Yes, I'm just confirming the theories. I'm just confirming the theories. I gotta remind me after the show. This will be a tease. We can talk about this next week on the show. But I gotta talk to you about something about WWE math related after this. And if they cut off
after the show,
if they cut you off, just hang up and call back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right.
So the alliance between Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross once again ran into a Bayley-shaped wall at WWE Extreme Rules, where the Huggable One thwarted not one, but both of her rivals in one of her grittiest, finest performances to retain the SmackDown Women's title. It would take nothing less than the type of effort to turn around what Corey Graves dubbed an unwinnable situation. Whatever you think of their partnership or the motivations behind it, Bliss and Cross have been in near-perfect sync lately, while Bayley is decidedly friendless and outgunned. To her detriment, she also seemed more preoccupied with Nikki than Alexa. The Huggable One straight up missed a tag by Bliss and continued to focus her attack on the Twisted Sister, allowing Bliss to shove the champ into the ring post and turn the tide of the match. But the famously positive Bayley responded to the disadvantage with a flurry of offense that took everyone in the building by surprise, showering Bliss with clubbing blows to the back before turning around for an immediate suicide crossbody to Nikki. She even got into the submission game, binding Nikki's legs in an Indian deathlock while wrenching Bliss back in a crossface at the same time. That was an amazing.
That was
vicious. She needs to put a name on that shit. She needs to put a fucking name on that shit.
Oh man, the Bayley 100%. Pretzel. No.
Yeah.
The pretzel.
I think it should be something cool.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I think there should be something with the word fuck in it.
Formidable form.
That doesn't have the word fuck in it.
You can't put fuck in something that's PG-13, bro.
You can have one fuck in something that's PG-13.
Are we gonna give it to the most clean character? It's like expecting me to swear in a freestyle, bro.
That's why it takes people by surprise.
This is true. This is true.
Call it the fuck hug.
The fuck hug. The fuck. I'm sure Heyman would like the idea.
Wait. No, Bischoff would like it too.
Bischoff would like it too.
Fuckhead, and he's running SmackDown. Call it the fuckhead. Fuck hug.
Fuck hug.
Yeah, the fuck hug.
Oh man, or the intangible.
And if she gets it more than once in a match, the second time, so they don't say fuck a second time, they can call it the fug hug.
Fug hug. Nah, man, call it the basic intangible.
Come like that name actually. That's a
Yeah,
good name.
bro. Yeah, bro.
It would be better if it had the word fuck in it, though.
Don't get me wrong. Fuck Huck is up there, bro. Like, we're only saying it this much because it's internet radio.
Yeah, we can say whatever we want.
Exactly. And doing it.
I could say 3 cunts if I wanted. Anyways, shockingly, it was Bliss and Cross who found themselves scrambling for their footing, and they went high risk, high reward in an attempt to pull the match away in the form of a twisted Bliss from Alexa. Unfortunately for them, Bayley blocked Bliss. That's too many B's. Bayley blocked Bliss with her knees and chopped Nikki out of the sky with another knee to the Scott's chin before following up with a flying elbow drop that put Nikki down for the 3 count. It was, in every sense of the word, a perfect showing by the SmackDown Women's Champion, as well as a rebuke to the distraught duo who insisted the Huggable One couldn't beat them without a friend. Clearly, they forgot who they were dealing with. Bayley did just fine on her own.
Bayley. You notice they didn't call her the Huggable One.
I know. They even called her that on commentary this week.
That's okay, like full out. Like, I need to be home by the time Raw's on or something. Like, it's my birthday, and yeah. But I'm gonna be.
I love that. I love that for your birthday. You're like, yo, I'm watching Raw, bitch. Like,
I'm gonna hijack that shit, yo. I'm letting you know from right now. I'm gonna be tweeting about every match. I'm gonna be rhyming. I'm letting you know in advance. We're gonna do this dance. The only thing that would stop me is like me being out, which I will be for the first half an hour of Raw. So I'm gonna
or the TV going out.
Don't even say that, bro. Don't even say that.
I'm saying it so it don't happen.
I'm knocking on wood, so exactly. Knocking on wood, so exactly.
What do we got next? Braun Strowman defeats Bobby Lashley in a last man standing match. This match was a banger as well. What does it take to keep Bobby Lashley down for a count of 10? Braun Strowman wouldn't leave WWE Extreme Rules without finding out. The Monster Among Men made a turn to his chaotic, destructive form in a last man standing match, subjecting his foe to all manner of otherworldly punishment in the birthplace of Extreme Rules to walk out of Philadelphia with a hard-earned win. This isn't to say that Strowman simply waltzed his way into Philly, hit Lashley with a couple of chairs, and ended up with the W. The Almighty gave as good as he got, and it quickly became clear that Strowman was not quite 100% as he continued to recover from a crash to the LED board 2 weeks ago. Strowman's reported injuries varied from a ruptured spleen to a separated pelvis. Whatever maladies plagued the Monster Among Men, Lashley knew to target the midsection and did so with an early spear that dropped his foe and left Strowman struggling as the match spilled through the arena and into the concourse. Lashley largely maintained control throughout most of the match, save for a few moments where Braun fired back. The Almighty kept his focus on his foe's midsection and reaped the benefits. At one point, he charged Strowman over the announce table and entombed him beneath it, though the strategy only kept Braun down for a count of 9. The Monster Among Men found better footing when the match spilled back into the arena, launching Lashley over the international announce row with such velocity that he took out a pair of commentators and battling the Almighty up the steps of the concourse. I take offense here to them saying a pair of commentators. Do you know who those commentators were?
Weren't they Funaki and Sean?
Yes, Yamaguchi-san and Funaki.
Funaki-san. Like, what are you taking out Funaki for, bro? Like,
and not just that, say their names when you mention them.
Say their names.
Fucking homeboy. They are legends.
Indeed.
PP, my dude. Yeah, choppy PP, my dude. Lashley, ever defiant, channeled his inner EC Dub by daring Strowman to keep hitting him. Thank you, may I have another? But it was yet another all-or-nothing maneuver by the Monster Among Men that finally turned the tide. After battling to the edge of an entrance tunnel that had been blocked off for construction, Strowman hoisted the Almighty on his shoulders, jumped off the ledge, and power-slammed him through the tunnel all in one motion. leaving both men trapped in the rubble beyond visibility. Referee John Cone, the father of former tag team champion Nicholas, who was Braun Strowman's partner. This is I'm calling bullshit. There's a conflict of interest here, and John Cone is in Braun Strowman's pocket.
Okay, he's no Patrick. He's no what's his name from WCW? Pat.
Yeah, I bet the Usos paid him off.
Wow. Probably not, but anyways.
I'm getting into my my WWE conspiracy. Referee John Cone dutifully began the count, making it as far as 7 or 8 before the victory emerged. Strowman blasted his way through the front of the blocked-off arena with his bare fist, leaving Lashley down and marching his way into victory. All of this isn't to say Lashley didn't make it hard, or that Strowman didn't look worse for wear, but at the end of the day, one man was standing, and that one man wasn't. Nothing else needs to be said.
That was a tough match till I remember seeing that. You know what I mean? It was like it was high velocity because those are two of the biggest men in the WWE right now, short of maybe a Lesnar and dudes from Heavy Machinery. But even then, they don't have the height as much as like Lashley and Strowman. So to see them essentially put two big rigs or two tanks on the road and said fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh my God! I can't believe I forgot to send you something. Keep talking about it for a second. I'm gonna send you something, and you're gonna lose your fucking mind. Yeah,
man. So to see that on the grand stage is madness. And speaking of grand stages, WWE presents SummerSlam in the 6th, Toronto, Ontario, Canada. Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be an amazing event that you can see for free for first-time users on the WWE Network if you sign up. That's WWE Network. 30-day free trial. You would get SummerSlam and the next pay-per-view for free, baby.
Free.
So check that out while I check this out.
That really is an amazing deal, by the way. I know, it's kind of the cool thing to do sometimes is just shit on WWE and stuff like that for like.
What the fuck do you mean 7'3", dog?
Well, bro, check him out. Vince is going to be very happy with this guy. I know it's a thing that people like the indie wrestling community, internet wrestling community likes to just shit on a lot of what WWE does. But let's be fair. 2 pay-per-views for free, and then every pay-per-view after that, and everything in the backlog for $10 a month, plus NXT, plus NXT UK, plus 205 Live, plus documentaries, plus original shows, plus all this other shit. It's the best bargain in streaming services there is.
Yep. It is. It is like there's, especially when you look at paying $60 a month for it. Like 2 months of the cable service will get you the whole year out of the WWE Network. You're welcome, Vince. Holy fuck! No! I'm gonna lose my shit for a second again. The title and the fucking network, and you know what? I'm working my. It's a good thing I'm sitting by the entrance ramp at SmackDown Live. I just go ahead.
I was just gonna say that. I mean, while you're going after Vince, I was just gonna say I think it's pretty amazing considering that when I was a kid, we would have to pay $50, $60 for the pay-per-views each month for WWE.
Yep.
And Vince is taking a pretty heavy, pay cut on those by giving them to us now for a 1/6 of the price every month.
Is he though?
All the other content.
Is he though? When you think about the fact that it's going to take forever to watch any one wrestler's thing, like if you were to start looking up Hulk Hogan or Shawn Michaels or The Rock and try to watch their catalog, like that's taking you a year and a half.
Yeah, but it's not really broken up like that. And also,
Yet.
those the people you just mentioned are like, 20-year careers. But like I mean, like the way I've used the network is like when I first got it, the first thing I did, the very, very first thing I did was I watched through Monday Night Nitro. I watched through WCW Nitro and pay-per-views, starting from the Nitro that Scott Hall first showed up in the audience, all the way through Sting coming back as black and white Sting and kicking the shit out of people with baseball bats for 6 months. And like, it goes surprisingly fast when you're just watching like, the specific parts you want and everything. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to do for so cheap.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I'm glad I thought of it.
My thing is they could easily charge us $20 a month for that, and it would still be worth the value, but they only charge $10. And they've only ever charged $10 since
they charge $11.99 up here.
Well, that's only because we're paying American dollars.
Still had to put that out there.
But it's $10 American, and that's what we're paying.
Bro, I tried to sign up for the WWE Network, and I never got that glorious email back. So I just said, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna watch what I want to watch."
Yeah, I got the I have a whole there's a website called WWE Network in Canada that walks you through all the steps for getting it as an a la carte service in Canada, because most of the cable companies you have to get it in a package with all this other shit. But
nope.
You can get it through that, and it's perfect. It's amazing. I can find into it on everything.
Nah,
and that's how I can get into it on my PS4. I can get into it on whatever I have going.
No. They gave him the idea. That's two ideas. That's two ideas that I've given him. The next one's gonna make me some motherfucking money. Okay? I'm telling you this right now. I'm not hating, I'm just stating. Anyways.
Alright, next match. We gotta get through these.
Yeah, man.
Alright, the New Day defeat Daniel Bryan and Rowan and Heavy Machinery to become the new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Could it be the New Day and WWE Extreme Rules with titles around each and every one of their swiveling waists? That question still depends on Kofi Kingston's bout with Samoa Joe, but Big E and Xavier Woods certainly did, as they promised by winning the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championship. They literally wrote it that way in here this time. Period, W, period, E, period, smack, period, down, period. They went all in. That's good.
Yes.
In a wild triple threat match that also included Heavy Machinery and the now former title holders, Daniel Bryan and Rowan. The match couldn't have ended up worse for the planet's champions, and not just because they lost the title. Not only did New Day score the deciding fall against the title holders, Bryan and Rowan's insistence that none of their challengers could possibly measure up was proven wrong time and time again, long before the fateful maneuver that put Bryan down. Whether it was Bryan's technical know-how or Rowan's overwhelming big man power, the challengers rose to the lofty occasion at every turn to keep the champs on their toes. Heavy Machinery continued their long coming-out party with an impressive stretch of offense that left every single one of their opponents down outside the ring. If not for a timely tag by Bryan in the midst of a Tower of Doom, the blue-collar solid horses might have left Philly with all the goods. But unfortunately, that same Tower of Doom took Otis and Tucker out of the running, leaving Bryan to try his luck against Big E. The Beard proved to be a scrappy foe despite the size difference, torquing E up in a modified label lock that seemingly turned every single one of the big man's limbs inside out. His barrage of kicks, however, did nothing except fire up his sizable challenger. A wild-eyed E rose from his knee, demanded Bryan lay as many slaps in as he could, and simply snatched the champion out of the air onto his shoulders. Xavier Woods revved up beyond all possible recognition, took flight off the turnbuckle, and connected with the Midnight Hour to claim New Day's 6th Tag Team Championship. Will they keep the WWE Championship in their ranks as well? There's plenty of unicorn magic left in this team. All they need now is a miracle.
I believe in miracles. Come on, bro. Yeah, man. Track, you know what I mean? It happened, right? Now, why all of a sudden is there so much gold and black, or black and gold? Why is there so much black and gold? I don't know.
All over the place.
All over the place. You know what I mean? Like, it's all over the place. I'm just saying. I'm not hating.
Vince did a 23andMe and found out he was black. Okay, let's go to the next one here. This next match was fucking amazing. AJ Styles defeats Ricochet to become the new United States champion. Ricochet was right. To defeat AJ Styles and retain the United States Championship, he had to withstand the Phenomenal One and his cohorts in the club, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. But thanks for this is worded wrong. But thanks to some canny timing by the Good Brothers, Ricochet didn't have to do so until he had been worn down by the effort of a battle gone long. And by the time they came calling, he simply didn't have enough in the tank to recover. There was also a paranoia factor of sorts at play in this epic back and forth between two of WWE's most talented superstars. Gallows and Anderson initially jumped Ricochet briefly before the bell. Styles quickly waved them off and spent the rest of the match lurking around the ring. That they didn't get involved at the time played to Styles' favors nonetheless. Each time the champion got rolling, he'd have to turn around and make sure no one was sneaking up on him, giving the Phenomenal One time to bounce back. Ricochet eventually nipped the problem in the bud by swooping down on the Good Brothers and taking them both out at once, allowing him to battle Styles all by himself. The champion was advertised in this epic match, attacking Styles by land and by air in equal measure. The Phenomenal One, too, lived up to his reputation by thinking of counterparts and rehearsals to nearly everything Ricochet threw at him. As the match went long, Gallows and Anderson recovered and began to get involved. It was innocuous at first. Anderson just pointed out Styles' foot was under the ropes during a pinfall and a reversal of a near fall a couple weeks ago. But the former Raw Tag Team champions made their move in a more aggressive capacity moments later. Ricochet, of course, was ready, taking out Anderson on the apron and sending him tumbling into the ring. While the ref was preoccupied, Gallows tripped the champion up on the turnbuckle, thwarting what was looking to be an attempt at a 630. Styles capitalized, dropping the champion with a Super Styles clash that was more than enough to earn him the 3 count and the United States Championship. The resulting tableau was a tale of two superstars, with Ricochet writhing in defeat and disappointment, while the club posed victorious with their new prize. That's how it goes, though. One man's defeat is another man's triumph. One man's loss is another man's gain. And one man's disappointment is another man's sweetness. True sweetness, you might say.
Some might say indeed. That was an aggressive too sweet at the end of it, though.
Oh yeah, it was. And that match was incredible. That Super Styles Clash backwards off the second rope was fucking unreal.
I don't know what the fuck, bro. I don't know what in the world they were saying on that, but they said it.
The only thing to say is, if anybody listening hasn't watched it yet, go fucking watch that match.
Watch that match. Watch that match. Watch that match. Watch that match.
All right. Now, the next one. This was a shock in just a matter of speed. Kevin Owens defeats Dolph Ziggler in 17 seconds.
Holy shit, bro. Holy shit. That's
insane. Kevin Owens defeated Dolph Ziggler in a matter of seconds via stunner, and then he shoveled dirt on Shane McMahon's newly dug grave. Moments after pinning the show off, who slapped Owens in the face to tee up his own instantaneous defeat, the former Universal Champion grabbed hold of the mic to continue the anti-Shane crusade that he began on this past week's SmackDown Live. Realizing the Undertaker's tombstone had incapacitated Shane and spared Owens the suspension or firing he'd been expecting, KO not only refused to recant, but stood by his previous comment. He also added a new one. I know I speak for myself, everyone in the locker room, everyone in the arena, and everyone watching at home when I say Shane McMahon can kiss my ass or straight to hell. Yes, he can. Tail is a spirit animal.
Yeah, honestly, Kevin Owens is a bad man still, eh?
Fuck yeah. Well, so a report came out this week that Kevin Owens is actually basically right now is the only person who has been cleared to cut completely unscripted promos.
Wow. That's a Canadian liberty for you.
That's how much they trust Kevin Owens.
Wow.
Yeah. It's amazing. And we'll get to it later, but he did the same thing on SmackDown this week, and it was awesome.
Okay.
WWE Champion Kofi Kingston.
Man.
Samoa Joe. If someday Kofi Kingston's objectively brave decisions to accept every challenge that comes his way might just spell the end of his WWE Championship reign. But not today, baby.
Baby.
The magic didn't just continue for Kingston, who outlasted a cruel Samoa Joe to retain his title. It was renewed in a major way for the New Day as a whole. With Kofi Kingston's victory, as well as Big E and Xavier Woods' tag team title win earlier in the night, the trio left Philly with championships in their clutches in defiance of every single odds stacked against them. They are running it modern-day DX style, where they have all the belts.
All the male belts.
All the medals.
No, they don't have they don't have not the universal.
Well, no, but there's nobody else in the group to get a fourth belt.
Didn't Evolution have a double up on titles?
They might have.
Yeah, man, there was a point where someone was the world heavyweight champion, someone was the tag team champions, someone else was Intercontinental champion or United States champion at the same time as they were a tag team champion.
That makes sense. I mean, in DX, for the very beginning of it, Shawn was the European champion and the heavyweight champion at the same time. And then he basically laid down for Hunter, and Hunter took the European, and then they had both of those belts. And then they got the New Age Outlaws, and they had the both titles. And then I think X-Pac got the European title too.
Okay.
So they had done some doubling and stuff like that before, but I just mean, like, for right now, especially with the landscape of things, there's no reason to double up titles on any of them. Like,
no.
There's no reason for that. Like, even with Becky, it was awesome for her to win it, but she had to lose one of those belts, pretty quickly, because you can't have them pulling double duty all the time. You can't have somebody tying up both belts. So it's it just makes more sense for booking and all that stuff if you have each of them holding one title. But they can also still freebird it. So I mean, technically, Kofi is also a tag team champion right now as well.
But does that mean Big E and Xavier Woods are also world heavyweight champions?
No, you can't freebird singles titles.
Why not?
Because you can't. Because it's not a team effort. Like, you can't. It's the same way as, like, in a tag team match. In the middle of the match, you can't freebird a new member in to be fresh. Like, that's not how the thing works. It just means that the three-man group, all three of them are the tag team champions, and any two of them can defend it at one time.
Wow. Well,
it would be such a clusterfuck. I thought about it for a while when they had said that's something that they want to do, and if they can figure out a cool way to do it, I'm all for it. I just don't think it makes a whole lot of sense.
It's probably going to end up being something like they have to face Xavier or Big E before they face Kofi kind of deal.
But that wouldn't be freebirding it.
No, I'm just saying in general. Like, that would be the closest they'd get to freebirding it.
I guess so. It's just that wouldn't even, I couldn't even say that would be close to freebirding, because freebirding is would be that one of them was holding that title as well. Because you can't, I said, it's the same reason Bliss and Cross, even without Bayley, not being able to look like she was being punished, even without that, once they won, whoever made the pin is the winner in a handicap title match. Like, that's how it's always worked. When Stone Cold had to defend the heavyweight title against Undertaker and Kane at No Way Out, way back in the day.
Can you hold on a second?
Yep.
Sorry. Hello? Hello? Annoyed. Anyways, it was just some ass clown trying to get money from me, trying to clean my vents and shit. He needs to go and find himself something else to blow. Anyways.
But yeah, I mean, when that happened with Austin versus Undertaker and Kane, the only reason that, I mean, in that match, both Kane and Undertaker pinned Austin at the exact same time, and it didn't mean both of them were champion. It meant neither of them were champion, and they had to face each other with Stone Cold as the special guest referee because Shawn Michaels interfered with Vince's plans. So I'm pretty sure there's something in like the WWE rulebook, which they've officially published and sold now, so now the rules are out there, where they would have to very explicitly introduce a new rule that would allow any sort of handing over or passing around of a singles title.
Okay.
But yeah. So, Kofi mounted a defense that was entirely an act of defiance. Joe wasn't just out to defeat the champion, but demoralize him. Though Kingston did not allow himself to be shaken, when the Samoan submission machine mangled Kofi's fingers, payback for an offending gesture a couple SmackDowns ago, the champion simply raised the other one. When Joe seemingly disregarded his opponent as small time or dead in the water, Kofi roared back and refused to stay down. And when Joe thought himself safe, Kofi struck, uncorking a trouble in paradise that caught Joe the second he bounced off of the ropes. Question his willingness to battle everyone who wants a piece of him. It's certainly taken its toll. Question his luck if you must. He certainly had a little bit of it along the way. But if you continue to question Kofi Kingston as WWE Champion, you simply haven't been paying attention. It's a lesson Samoa Joe learned the hard way tonight. He isn't the first, and the way things are going, he likely won't be the last.
That match was dynamic.
Yes, it was. It's very, very good. I love the small joint manipulation stuff of that Joe was doing, with like grabbing the fingers and all that.
I like the fact that New Day didn't come out and interfere with the match.
Mhm. Well, yeah, that they couldn't. That was Kofi is such a face right now that to have them interfere would be super detrimental to that.
Exactly. Like, they have the heels interfering and not the faces.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what's up.
But yeah, it was amazing. Kofi is amazing. Samoa Joe is fucking amazing. Samoa Joe is going to get that belt one day from somebody, and I'm going to be very happy when he does.
They need to put Samoa Joe against Brock Lesnar again.
Yes, please. Give me that belt. Give me that fucking match.
That's what they need. Like, I want to see that. Like, show me that.
That was one of the best Brock matches ever. Good.
Who's he facing at SummerSlam? Rollins, right?
Yeah, Rollins.
Okay.
Speaking of which, Universal Champion Seth Rollins and Raw Women's Champion Becky Lynch defeat Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans to the shock of nobody. Oh, sorry, that's not there. Brock Lesnar cashed in on Rollins to win the Universal title to the shock of everybody.
Yep.
So, Love won, but Brock Lesnar conquered. Moments after Raw's resident power couple, Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch, dispatched Baron Corbin and Lacey Evans, their longtime challengers for the Universal and Raw Women's titles respectively, in savage fashion during Extreme Rules Mixed Tag Team match main event. The Beast Incarnate reared his head to prey on Rollins, cash in his Money in the Bank contract, and relieve the Beast Slayer of the Universal Championship. As far as time and place is concerned, Lesnar picked his moment perfectly. Not only had Paul Heyman stoked the fires with another will he or won't he tease earlier in the night,
but Rollins had truly been through a physical and emotional gauntlet during the Extreme Rules main event, which blurred mixed tag rules. Men can only battle men, and women can only battle women. That would both persist throughout the match. From the beginning to end, not only did Lacey Evans get a few moves in on the Beast Slayer, but Becky Lynch wasn't afraid to lay into Corbin when the situation warranted. It was an end of days from Corbin to Lynch, however, that caused Rollins to snap. Egged on by Corbin's taunt, what are you going to do about it? The Architect lost full semblance of control, raining blows on his challenger's back with a kendo stick and steel chair before administering 3 stomps to pin the Lone Wolf. A stricken Evans got out while the getting was good, backing slowly up the ramp. I didn't even notice fucking Lacey backing up the ramp. That's genius. One thing I did notice about that, which was awesome, was that he gave Corbin 3 stomps, which is the number of stomps he gave Lesnar to win the Universal title.
Oh.
So a little, what's it called, parody there. His victory was short-lived, as Lesnar's music hit almost immediately, and the Conqueror strolled through the curtain. Heyman at his side and contract in hand, torn between standing his guard and coming to the aid of Lynch, who was stirring at ringside. Rollins was easy prey for a pair of German suplexes, at which point the cash-in was called in earnest, and Lesnar administered a single F5 to pin Rollins and retain his championship. Extreme Rules ended with Lesnar strolling up the ramp, his long-shot plan to regain the title having come to full fruition. Rollins, meanwhile, stared blankly at the mat. The good news for him, at least, is that Corbin and Evans didn't succeed in tearing him and Lynch apart. His relationship is safe. His championship, however, is gone.
Damn.
Yeah, that was
some storytelling.
Insane pay-per-view. So good. Very, very good stuff. I loved every goddamn second of it.
Yep, definitely intense. All right, you know what I think we should do? Hang up and then call back.
Okay, do you want to call me back? Because my phone's messed up with call out.
Okay, yeah.
Word.
Okay, cool. Is it? Here we go. Yep. Nope. Yep, right away.
Boom. Beautiful. You wanna take Raw?
Yeah, man, I got this. All right. Heyman and Raw, July 15th, 2019. Heyman and Lesnar. We told you so. The short version. We told you so, but Paul Heyman is never one for brevity. And so is his and Brock Lesnar's return to the championship circle was one long, insidious victory lap, with the Advocate gleefully recounting the weeks in which he told the WWE Universe and Seth Rollins that Lesnar would cash in the Money in the Bank contract, emphasizing the fact that any failure to take him seriously was more their fault than his. As far as SummerSlam is concerned, Heyman is his self-proclaimed genius, turned his attention to the cross-branded All-Star Top 10 Battle Royal, where Seth Rollins, Randy Orton, Cesaro, Braun Strowman, Rey Mysterio, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley, and Roman Reigns will all vie for a chance to challenge the Beast at SummerSlam. With a talent pool like that, we can all agree that no matter who wins, the biggest event of the summer will be in the 6 and feature a marquee main event. But as far as Heyman's concerned, none of these prospective opponents stand a chance against the Conqueror. And if it turns out he's right, we can't say we weren't told that either.
Hey, he doesn't do predictions. He does spoilers. he's told us that. He's told us that very clearly.
More than once.
And he has proved himself correct many times.
Yep.
So I love it. I think, I was, when it first happened, like when the pin first happened for Brock at Extreme Rules, I was so mad. But that's exactly what I was supposed to be. And God damn it if I don't love when WWE makes me feel something.
Isn't it true though? I got caught up in it too. What the oh, damn.
Yeah, it's magic, dude. It's magic. Like, it's a fucking magic trick that they do. I should see, with how many times I can see what's coming, I shouldn't be so, like, invested in it when it happens, but goddamn it I am, and I fucking love them for it.
Yeah. The club aren't done with Ricochet just yet.
Nope.
Oh, the WWE Matt says that he was right about the whole club forming again, too.
Oh yeah. When did I call that?
Like 4 weeks ago?
6 months ago?
6 months ago? Yeah. Oh yeah, because it was on the Terrell Effect.
Yeah.
You called that on the Terrell Effect, yeah.
Oh
and
yeah. I've been saying that's the move.
Yeah. Ricochet might have lost the United States Championship to AJ Styles last night, but the club aren't quite done with the former champion. Looking to add insult to injury to the young superstar, Styles, Luke Gallows, and Carl Anderson ambushed Ricochet at the conclusion of a 2 out of 3 fall 6-man tag match, which Ricochet and the Usos teamed up to defeat the Revival and Robert Roode. For the Usos, who lost the Raw Tag Team title bid to Dash and Dawson last night, the victory is a welcome gust of wind in their sails that may yet again carry them to the top guy's doorstep. But the win proved to be a little bomb for Ricochet, who found himself sized up by the club moments after he scored the decisive fall of the match against Roode. Ricochet came out swinging, darting into Styles with a suicide dive that instigated the all-out brawl among all 9 superstars. Ultimately, it was Styles who got the last word, downing Ricochet with a phenomenal forearm and feeding his foe into a magic killer from Gallows and Anderson. Ironically, Ricochet had seemed to be taking his loss in stride before the club came calling, but he clearly won't be afforded the luxury of a positive outlook. The beatings will continue until his morale doesn't just fail, but ceases to exist altogether.
Fuck yes.
So it looks like what they've come to do is beat up Ricochet.
Beat up Ricochet.
What else are they planning on doing?
Beat up John Cena if he ever comes back.
But if he doesn't, they're gonna
recruit Finn Balor.
and then
I don't know what you're leading me for.
I thought you were gonna say beat up Ricochet again.
Oh yeah, and then they'll beat up Ricochet again. That was an easy.
But I like where you went with it.
I'm just trying to get the booking set up for WWE for the next few months.
You know what I mean? Like, shoot, so far they got like 3 cards.
Yep.
3 on the card. All right. Viking Raiders pillage their way through Long Island in latest decimation. Give me a second. At this point, local tag teams who agree to be on Raw might as well just feed themselves into the meat grinder and be done with it. Because the Viking Raiders have been racking up homebred hopefuls for several weeks and didn't hesitate to add another duo to their collection on Raw. Vinny Gunner and Jackson James served mainly as playthings for Eric and Ivar's unique offense, with the final Viking experience acting as more of a mercy blow than anything else. And with the bodies piling up on the Viking Raiders' wake, it's looking more like the savage, unpredictable duo can't be stopped. They can only be fed.
Yeah, and those boys will eat. Because Jesus Christ, they are huge and they are savages. Those moves, every move they do looks like it hurts so
Did
bad.
you see when the bigger one jumped off the ropes and did that spinning, whatever it was?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was like last week on Raw, where he did something, he was doing, like he was on his way up to the top rope, and Michael Cole put it actually pretty perfectly when he said, Ivar, who is, believe it or not, considered the high flyer of the two.
Yeah.
Because it's so crazy. He's such a big boy. Like
he's a big boy.
He should not be fucking. I don't know if it's really very safe for him to be landing on people. That shit's scary, man.
This episode of Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock has been brought to you by Kickstart, because it's what I'm drinking right now. Mountain Dew Kickstart. Step your game up.
Yo, call us Mountain Dew. I like Code Red.
I got the, what's it called? The Midnight Grape?
Oh, nice.
Yeah. There it is, man. All right. Cedric Alexander scores a major victory on Raw. On paper,
Yes,
Cedric Alexander is perfect rebound for opponent of a remix. Oh yeah, take two. On paper, Cedric Alexander is the perfect rebound opponent for a reeling Drew McIntyre. One night after being embarrassed by The Undertaker and Roman Reigns, what is better pickings are there for a former NXT champion than the man who almost humiliated him the previous week on Raw? The size and power difference seemed to make this one a foregone conclusion. But unfortunately for Drew McIntyre, the former WWE Cruiserweight Champion came ready to play. Despite suffering a series of power maneuvers from McIntyre, Cedric slowly picked the Scot apart with high-flying offense before sealing the match with a roll-up reversal of McIntyre's reverse Alabama Slam. And minutes after McIntyre promised to tear Alexander limb from limb, he's left with more questions than answers, while Cedric is looking like the one whose opponents underestimate at their peril.
Let's just say that right now. Thank you, Paul Heyman.
Way to go, Paulie.
Right. Because this has Heyman like written all over it. Where going into this match, if it had been like a couple weeks ago, it would have been exactly what it says in that thing. It would have been a foregone conclusion that Drew was coming out of this match looking, like the victor and winning. Instead, what we got was a shocking victory for Cedric Alexander, who doesn't get to be on TV enough, and making him look fucking hella strong. And it's just amazing. Like, it's so perfect. Like, yes, creative is going in a very good direction right now.
I'm starting to think with my stomach. All right, what we got next? Bray Wyatt resurfaces as The Fiend on Raw. WWE Mass says.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Samoa Joe and Finn Balor both lost at WWE Extreme Rules, so a comeback win was crucial for the two former champions looking to regain their footing, and in Balor's case, the Intercontinental Championship in time for SummerSlam. But only Joe was able to channel his frustration into a victory, and Finn found himself in a world of trouble he didn't quite see coming. While the Irishman got some bragging rights by landing a coup de grace on Joe during a scrap in the wake of his loss, the moment was cut short when his music ground to a halt and the lights cut out in the arena. The sounds of scuffle would be heard in the darkness, and when the lights came back up, they revealed Bray Wyatt in his horrifying Fiend mask and duster with a limp Balor in a position for Sister Abigail. The former WWE champion planted his flow mercilessly into the mat, before making his exit, and the Intercontinental title is looking further away by the second, though that's probably the least of Finn Balor's problems right now. Oh my gosh, we have so much left.
I know. Well, I'm thinking we're gonna do G1 Climax stuff next week. We'll do New Japan and AEW blowout next week.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. All right. Maria adds insult to injury after Mike Kanellis' loss to Ryder. Now, my wife doesn't like this one, and it's because it's one of the only. No, it's not the only. Like, why are they showing this kind of like grief on air? You know what I mean? Like, it's not really promoting.
This is very Paul Heyman. This is another thing that it's like. This is very Paul Heyman.
Okay.
So, I mean, it's just a different flavor to the show. I'm confused by it a little bit.
So am I. That's what my thing is. Like, what purpose does it serve?
Well, we don't know yet. We're 2 weeks into it, so we don't know what it is yet. But it's like I was just saying, I'm very confused by it. It's not my favorite thing on the show right now at all. I love Maria. Seeing Maria is always fun, and she's hilarious. But, yeah, this is one of those things where until we can kind of see what they're doing with it, like if they're gonna make Mike come out strong at the end of this, looking like a badass heel or something like that, I'm all for it. Do it. They're both very clearly okay with this kind of storyline. They've done crazy storylines in past promotions about, sort of kind of similar-ish. But yeah, this is one of those things where I'm not huge on it. It's just, I'm just kind of waiting to see where they're leading with it.
Okay. Theoretically, father to be Mike Kanellis should be the happiest man in the world. Unfortunately, he's married to Maria Kanellis, who seems...
Hey.
I'm just reading what they wrote, bro. I'm just reading what they...
I know. I was just going to say, like, hey, the person who wrote this, that is slanderous. She is... Whew, that's still Maria Kanellis we're talking about, gentlemen.
And she seems dead set on unmanning her husband by berating him, insulting him, and openly questioning the percentage of her child. There could be an argument that this is all some kind of motivation technique, but the overwhelmed Kanellis found himself defeated by Zack Ryder in a matter of seconds following a backstage argument with Maria, where she deemed him too inept to compete to try to battle the Ultimate Broski instead. Then again, given the relish which Maria insulted Mike after the match, this may have been the result she wanted all along. And Ricochet strikes back during the Club versus Lucha House Party.
Yeah, he did.
If there was any doubt that the Club was going to do things right this time around, they certainly put it to rest on this week's Raw when they won their first six-man tag team match since their reunion, overwhelming the Lucha House Party, nearly crippling Kalisto with a match-ending calf crusher that AJ Styles refused to release. With that being said, their win wasn't exactly seamless thanks to an appearance from Ricochet in the middle of the match that briefly threw the bout into chaos. Ricochet's interference, where he repaid the Club earlier ambush by attacking Styles, clearly weighed on the Phenomenal One for the remainder of the match. He competed with a little extra fire, and even torturous submission of the King of Flight seemed to stand as a message. But Styles, seeing the need to reply in such fashion, is also a statement of sorts about Ricochet, and the manner in which he finally decided to repay his weeks of cheap shots at the hands of Styles. It may very well end up being that anything Styles can do, Ricochet can do too. Perhaps even better.
And I'm very happy that feud's going to continue. We can get 5-star matches for 3 more pay-per-views out of these two if we want. They're amazing.
Yeah.
Like,
all right.
They're so good at what they do, man. It's unbelievable. That's 4 guys in a feud that are just all spectacular, and I'm always down for that.
Natalya goes insult for insult with Becky Lynch after earning title match at SummerSlam.
Yes, I'm all the way here for this.
Your SummerSlam match for the Raw Women's Championship will be Becky Lynch versus Natalya. And it's shaping up to be a very, very personal affair. Thank you. Very, very personal affair indeed. Appreciate it. Okay. That's somewhat surprising for a match involving Natalya. The Hart Dungeon graduate is about as respectful as it gets, but the man did more than enough to bring out the Queen of Hearts' inner trash talker, confronting the former SmackDown Women's Champion moments after she won the Fatal 4-Way elimination match that sent her to SummerSlam. Natalya had certainly shown her in-ring bona fides before she went face-to-face with Becky, eliminating Naomi and Alexa Bliss en route to victory. Alexa eliminated Carmella to score the first ouster of the match. And yet, the man seemed more than a little unimpressed with her new challenger, declaring that she was the special something Natalya's career needed, after dispelling any notion that the match was going to come to some kind of a contest among friends. The Queen of Hearts took the hint, firing back that with some trash talk on her own. I'm gonna rip that greasy orange mop off your head was just a sampling of the nose-to-nose going with the champion in a heated confrontation. WWE officials were quick to break it up before they came to the blows. As much as these two respect each other, it's fair to say they liked each other a lot more before this match was made. Much like the challenger itself, it's about as old school as it gets.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this match. This is going to be a great match. It was interesting seeing Becky go in there and be kind of heelish to Natalya. I mean, it makes sense if you're having those two fight in Canada. Natalya is absolutely going to be getting cheered like crazy.
Mad. And I mean, I cheered the TV. Yeah, there goes my Canadian girl. Bam.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
I didn't even think about it until after she won it. I was like, oh shit! Like it just hit me. But yeah, I'm super into the match. I'm super into seeing what they're gonna do with the story between the two for the next month that we have almost.
Yep.
And it's gonna be that's gonna be a fucking amazing match. They're both so technically gifted.
They are. They really are.
Yeah.
Ziggler brings a fight out of Miz, intense confrontation. Extreme Rules wasn't Dolph Ziggler's best night. He lost to Kevin Owens in a matter of seconds, so it was somewhat odd that the show requested time on Miz TV to discuss the last few twists and turns in his career has taken. It quickly became clear, however, that he came to Raw to express the purpose for picking a fight with The Miz, who he accused of turning into a corporate yes-man type instead of the hungry Cleveland-born outsider who forced his way to the upper echelon WWE. For Ziggler, it was a fate worse than any 17-second loss. But Miz was happy if someone confused to absorb the insult, at least until the show-off mentioned Miz's wife. The A-lister threw hands the second the words left Dolph's mouth, driving him from the ring and handing the show-off yet another embarrassment, as well as a reminder of just how gritty he can be.
I'm okay with this dude. Like I said, I'm never gonna be. I mean, unless he gets an insane boost of creativity, I'm never gonna be like super excited for Dolph. But it's something for the Miz to do right now that's not fucking more Shane McMahon stuff.
Sure.
So yeah, I'm into this. This is a good setup.
True. All right. R-Truth strikes again on Drake Maverick's big night. Terrible. A night of pleasure turned to pain for Drake Maverick when R-Truth struck, reclaiming the 24/7 championship moments before Maverick was set to compete in the long-awaited consummation of his marriage to Renee Michelle. In and of itself, that's about the most demoralizing conceivable end to Maverick's second reign. But the fashion in which Truth relieved Maverick of the title was a brutal twist of the knife of its own, with the referee disguised as a room service attendant at the Mavericks Hotel, smuggled himself into the room underneath the champagne tray, and emerging to crossbody Drake on top of the rose petal covered bed for the pinfall. Truth took the title and bounced, leaving Maverick to frantically chase after the love of his life and leave his beautiful wife behind. Damn.
It's so brilliant. It's so goddamn good. Every single 24/7 segment just serves to make me happy. Like it's like they're writing those just to make me pleased.
What is he, like 12-time champion now or something like that?
9.
9? Okay.
9, I think. Yeah, 9. It's so crazy. So crazy.
Mm-hmm. Who's going to SummerSlam to challenge Brock Lesnar? Who? Well, say this for Seth Rollins. He doesn't stay down for long. A lightning quick rebound from his Extreme Rules loss and an odd mirror to the Royal Rumble match win that netted him the Universal bout at WrestleMania. The Architect triumphed in a cross-branded All-Star Top 10 Battle Royal featuring 10 superstars from Raw and SmackDown setting themselves up for the Universal title bout against Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. That's not to say he didn't have competition. Cesaro ran through the field with the uppercut express. Randy Orton dished out RKOs to anything that moved. Big E hoisted Braun Strowman up for a big ending before Sami Zayn scored an upset elimination of the SmackDown Tag Team Champion. And Baron Corbin was ousted by Rollins, Strowman and Roman Reigns after unceremoniously tossing Rey Mysterio. Rollins suffered an errant spear by Reigns in the final stretch of the match, but he recovered quickly enough to eliminate the Big Dog and Strowman, who were deadlocked on the apron. Orton, however, had been biding his time after being sent through the ropes, and he immediately struck from behind, narrowly eliminating an unsuspecting Rollins. The Architect recovered again and administering the stomp to the Apex Predator and tossed him over the ropes to win the match and send himself to SummerSlam, where Lesnar lies in wait. Paul Heyman was quick to attempt to get in Rollins' head, and from his and Lesnar's perch atop the stage, sneeringly announced that Kingslayer was both the winner of the match and the sacrificial lamb for the Beast Incarnate. Rollins countered with some fiery words of his own and a promise that he would repeat the WrestleMania triumph come SummerSlam. Given that Lesnar briefly stalked the ring with Sharon's hand, it's fair to say he's taking Rollins seriously this time around. And if Seth Rollins recaptures the title, Brock Lesnar won't be able to say he wasn't warned.
Boom.
Yep.
Big things. I'm very, very, very excited for SummerSlam in the 6th. It's going to be a big old Brock party.
Yep. A 4-day party.
Fuck. Yeah.
Yep. I'm going to meet a couple of people that I met at a couple of years ago at a WWE live event.
Yep.
I'm going to meet up with some of them if I can.
Nice.
Yeah. They're sitting across the arena from me, but I'll meet them outside or something.
You can meet up beforehand outside and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Hell yeah, that's dope, man. That's gonna be super fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. Shane looks like he got knocked out.
Oh yeah, he got hit. He's always sold the Stunner very well.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just feeling a bite of some food right now. Do you have SmackDown up?
Pardon?
Do you have SmackDown up?
Yeah, I got it up. I'll start it off here.
Okay, you start off. We'll alternate.
Yeah. Sparks flew during Shane McMahon's town hall meeting. Coming off of Kevin Owens' iconic tirade last week, Shane McMahon held a town hall meeting on SmackDown Live, allowing other Blue Brand superstars to air any and all grievances as long as they were, quote, respectful. Superstars weren't bashful, with Roman Reigns stepping right up to the mic to inform Shane O'Mac nobody in the locker room respected him, to which Shane promptly replied that he would be fining the big dog for his controversial comments. Charlotte Flair tried to bring the conversation back to pro-Shane level, but Liv Morgan interrupted, calling the Queen a total phony in more ways than one. Buddy Murphy chimed in, saying that he would be happy to help shut up KO for Shane, before Apollo Crews swooped in to say that he too agreed with Owens' assessment from last week, before Andrade and Zelina Vega interrupted to try and silence Apollo by challenging the rising superstar to a match tonight. Elias was next up to try and switch the town hall back in Shane's favor, before the New Day, and specifically WWE Champion Kofi Kingston, railed against Shane, insisting that every superstar on SmackDown Live had the potential to do great things if given the opportunities. Shane O'Mac didn't like what he was hearing, though, and he called for the technicians to cut Kingston's microphone off before he could continue his blitz on Shane. Shane abruptly called a close to the town hall and made a match between Aleister Black and Wildcard from Raw, Cesaro, and seemed generally satisfied, until he ate a stunner from an intruding Owens, who he had banned from the arena earlier in the evening. Shane was down, Owens fled, and things were quite lively on the Blue Brand.
All right, I'm back. That was Bistro to go that I just got brought down here because I was saying, you see, that's how I love the missus, the wife injured.
Yep.
I kind of said, I'm thinking with my stomach right now, and then, 20 minutes later, I get a meal down here. I'm just like, wait a minute. I had that still. I had, like, I don't know, man. I was fading still. I got this one, though. Aleister Black defeats Cesaro. Again. Following their show-stealing clash at WWE Extreme Rules, Aleister Black and Cesaro ran it back on the Blue Brand, looking to claim a second monumental victory over the Swiss Cyborg after defeating him on Sunday. Aleister Black immediately brought the fight to his opposition, forcing Cesaro to retreat in the early goings. The King of Swing battled back with a submission-based attack, but Black refused to stay down and finished off Cesaro with a brutal black mass that sent Cesaro's mouthpiece flying across the ring. Wow.
Yeah, that was crazy. It was so well done. And the thing that fucked me up the most about it was how the mouthpiece landed, because the mouthpiece landed perfectly with facing the camera, with the where it says the bar on Cesaro's mouthpiece. It's that was perfectly centered when it dropped. It was crazy.
Wow.
Yeah, it was awesome. Okay, next one. Charlotte Flair defeats Liv Morgan. After getting into a verbal tussle with Charlotte Flair during Shane McMahon's town hall meeting earlier in the night, Liv Morgan looked to seize an opportunity by taking down the Queen in one-on-one competition. SmackDown Liv came at Charlotte early, showing some impressive quickness that threw the Queen off her game. After slowing the pace and regaining control, Charlotte caught Liv with a ring-rattling powerbomb, and the rest was academic, as she locked Morgan in the figure eight for a submission victory. Emotional Morgan lashed out by snatching Corey Graves' headset off his head and letting everyone know Charlotte was right, and the next time we saw her, she would be real.
Okay.
That was very cool. It looks like they're going to be giving Liv a nice little push. It seemed like they were turning her face at the beginning of the show. At the end of it, I don't know if that was supposed to be her saying, you know what, fuck that, I'm going to be the real me and be a heel, or if she's going to come back and still be a face, but just be, fucking a gangster. So we'll see. It's going to be very interesting to wait for.
What happened to Sarah Logan?
Sarah Logan is on Raw.
Okay. Okay.
I know they broke up the Riot Squad when they did the last Superstar Shakeup.
Okay. Bayley and Ember Moon defeat Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Last week, Come again?
I said yes.
Oh, yes. Last week, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville challenged Ember Moon to a tag team match if ever Ember could find a partner. Well, Moon not only found a partner, but her partner in the way of SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley! Yeah, I said it like that, so what's it to you, bub? Fire and Desire appeared to be undeterred by the choice, though, after attacking Ember and Bayley before the bell and getting the jump on them in the early goings. However, they said it in here, the Hugger and the She-Nom immediately clicked as a unit, with Bayley taking down Deville with the Bayley to belly suplex, and Moon stopping God's greatest creation in her tracks with a dazzling eclipse to put Rose away for the win. After the match, Bayley was pressed on who she wanted to defend the SmackDown Women's title against next, and after mulling it over, Bayley made it obvious that she thought Ember would be a great choice. An ecstatic Moon belted out an enthusiastic hell yeah to the delight of the WWE Universe. How you gonna partner with someone and then give them a chance to take a title from you?
Hey man, it's sportsmanship, face stuff. I'm excited. I think it's very interesting that they've essentially got two face versus face matches set up for the women's title matches. We'll see how that turns over the next couple weeks, but that was very, very cool.
Yeah,
I love Ember Moon. So seeing Ember Moon get a title shot makes me very happy.
Yeah, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Ember gets it, and then you have bro, I don't know. I don't want to see, I'm just Afrocentric. I ain't got an issue with any other culture, but I like to see my people doing good, don't you?
If someone's black, they're a face.
But you see, they're trying to show, I gotta give the WWE credit because they have showed New Day in a positive light for as long as they have. They shown them going through the struggle. They shown them rising above it all, and they shown them in a peak position right now. So like,
absolutely.
And they didn't do it in an overnight fashion. So like, I like the story that they're telling because it's a possibility to overcome the odds. And like Kofi's been in WWE as long as I've been with Jenny.
Yeah.
11 years.
Yep.
So like we started our 10 years at the same time. Mind you, I haven't had to go through any steel cages or nothing. But I feel like a champion. So we good.
Attaboy.
Yeah, man. Speaking of the New Day.
Well, I was just going to say, speaking of the New Day, the New Day hijacked Daniel Bryan's major announcement. Fresh off their 6th Tag Team Championship win at WWE Extreme Rules, the New Day arrived on SmackDown Live ready to celebrate, holding all the gold. Despite this actually being time scheduled for what was supposed to be a major announcement from Daniel Bryan. The New Day seemed to think Bryan's news would be challenging the new champions to a rematch, which the title holder prematurely accepted. Title holders prematurely accepted. Bryan and Rowan then hit the scene and left the scene before Bryan said anything at all, and then repeated the process several times as the WWE Universe and New Day anticipated what he had to say. However, Bryan dropped the mic and exited without saying a word, allowing the arrival of Samoa Joe. Joe was looking for another opportunity at Kingston's WWE Championship, despite coming up short against him at WWE Extreme Rules. Before Kofi could reply, though, Elias interrupted, also looking for a crack at Kingston, who was soon followed by Randy Orton, looking for the same. Elias suggested a 6-man tag team match for right now, and the New Day were all about it. The Viper seemed less than interested and began to make his exit, until Kofi hit Randy with some serious insults that got him more invested in trying to take the New Day down in an impromptu bout up next.
And that bout was Randy Orton, Samoa Joe, and Elias defeating the New Day.
See?
Fresh off the intense verbal exchange from moments prior, the New Day collided with Samoa Joe, Randy Orton, and Elias in a major impromptu 6-man tag team match. Kofi Kingston, Xavier Woods, and Big E put their experience as a unit into motion from the jump. Firing on all cylinders, Randy Orton blindsided Woods with behind the official's back, which allowed the Smash Mouth unit to take firm control. Elias, Samoa Joe, and Orton attempted to isolate Woods, but the temperature of the match changed when the WWE Champion finally tagged into the contest. During a wild free-for-all between all 6 competitors, Joe ensnared Woods in a coquina clutch at ringside, and the Living Truth dropped Big E with a knee to prevent the big man from freeing his partner. Elias re-entered the ring only to be met by a swift Trouble in Paradise, but the Apex Predator immediately struck the WWE Champion with an RKO for the victory. Joe, Elias, and Orton turned into an impressive victory into taking down a trio of title holders, but the Viper made the definitive statement at the expense of the WWE Champion.
Fuck yeah, I'm down for Kofi versus Randy at SummerSlam.
Kofi versus Randy at SummerSlam? Yeah, I can see that. Trouble in Paradise versus the RKO? Yeah, that would be nice. Because Orton's...
They set it up most. Like, they set of the 3 people they brought out that were all trying to get a challenge in, they set stuff up with Randy the most, with him getting the RKO victory on Kofi, and with they've got a long history against each other, and Kofi goaded Randy into getting into the match with the insults about the Viper and having a soft dick.
Wow!
Yeah, that's what he did.
He said he ain't got no manhood.
Basically.
And then he lost. That sucks.
Yeah, so that's going to be very cool. But next was the Kabuki Warriors.
Or as you say, Oriental Express
the
Part 2.
WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. The Iconics via countout. Now, this was upsetting, because I really thought they were going to win this match, win this match. But that will have to be for another week. After defeating the Iconics in Tokyo several weeks ago in a non-title match, the Kabuki Warriors of Asuka and Kairi Sane look to follow up by dethroning the Iconics for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles on SmackDown Live. Asuka and Kairi came out the gates hot, but when Billie Kay and Peyton Royce found themselves on the outside of the ring, they refused to re-enter and got themselves counted out, taking another loss to the Kabuki Warriors, but retaining their titles. This, of course, did not sit well with the Kabuki Warriors, who darted out of the ring to lay a beating on Billie and Peyton, which was punctuated by an awe-inspiring insane elbow from the Pirate Princess. The cathartic attack quenched their thirst for retribution, but it got them no closer to the women's tag team titles, at least not tonight.
Oddly enough, they were missing from the pay-per-view. The women's tag team title.
Yeah, it was a pretty stacked card overall, so I could see.
Could have been I don't know, bro. I don't know.
I mean, you got to cut something from last night. It's hard to pick one of those matches to cut for an Iconics match.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's all too true.
As much as I love them, and as much as I love the Kabuki Warriors, I mean, every one of those matches last night put on a goddamn show. Even the fucking 17-second one. Like that, you know what I mean? Like, and if you cut that, you still don't have enough time for a women's tag team title match.
No, you're right. Oh man. I'm just saying, like, I just noticed it was auspicious with his absence.
For sure. But I think you know, SummerSlam, we're gonna get the big win at SummerSlam for the Kabuki Warriors, and that'll be when Peyton is taking some time off for her wedding and honeymoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, Apollo Crews defeats Andrade. After their 10th exchange during Shane McMahon's town hall meeting earlier in the evening, Apollo Crews and Andrade went at it on the blue brand, and Andrade got the jump by attacking Crews before the bell had rang. Andrade applied the pressure, allowing Crews no room to breathe, but just when it appeared that Andrade was closing in on victory, Apollo turned the tides by catching Andrade with a roll-up for what was arguably the biggest 3 count of his SmackDown Live career. Quick match, very cool stuff. Awesome that they gave Apollo the win.
Finally.
Again, this is we're entering a time where I think creative understands that you can't just have the same people going over all the time. You have to have shocks, and they're trying to show us that at the gate.
Mm-hmm. Kevin Owens and Dolph Ziggler concluded in stunning fashion. After being blindsided by a stunner from Kevin Owens earlier in the night, Shane O'Mac co-signed Dolph Ziggler's idea of trying to shut up KO in a match, and Shane allowed Owens back in the building for this main event. KO brought the heat early, but Ziggler took control, seeking retribution for Owens' quick win on Sunday at Extreme Rules. The action stopped when Shane McMahon arrived with a litany of SmackDown Live superstars seemingly ready to pounce on KO. As the crew surrounded the ring, Owens kicked out of a zigzag before regrouping and dropping the show off with a stunner. Though Shane yanked the former Universal Champion out of the ring, he went for the cover. Owens responded by swiftly dropping Shane with a stunner for the second time that night, and he bolted towards the backstage area to evade the bomb. Owens had bested Shane yet again, but the best in the world promised that payback was coming KO's way, as SmackDown Live concluded.
Yep, this is awesome, man. Kevin, they're making Kevin the voice of the people. They're making him Stone Cold Steve Austin. I'm all the way in for that.
I'm down for that, bro. Kevin Owens is the man. From he came in with
yeah, I love it. I love his theme song. I love his packaging. I love how awesome he is on the mic. He's amazing in the ring. He's such a killer.
He's such a big dude. He moves nimble.
Oh yeah, man. He hits shit hard. Like, I mean, he had a swanton bomb.
Yep.
Within the last week on one of these shows. There's too many shows for me to remember exactly which one that was on. But he hit a swanton on somebody this week, and I was like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah. Madness, bro. Such madness.
It's awesome, man. I love Kevin Owens.
It is. He is the man. All right, so yeah, we've already taken 2 hours, and y'all usually watch the show for that much time. Our whole point of this was to cut it back, so you can just get a quick synopsis and move on. But we got personalities that come out from time to time.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So we've done WWE SmackDown and Raw.
Yep, and Extreme Rules.
Extreme Rules.
So I think, like I said earlier, I think we'll leave New Japan, all Elite stuff for next week, and we'll crush through all the results from those.
Yep.
The other thing that I'm going to bring up for today is UFC. There's another UFC tonight. They're at the AT&T Center in, I want to say, Anaheim.
Okay.
No, San Antonio, Texas. So they're in San Antonio, Texas. There's some really good fights tonight. Raquel Pennington is fighting Irene Aldana. Raquel Pennington, I believe this is her first fight back since she got just manhandled by my girl Amanda Nunes. Smiling Sam Alvey is coming back after his very controversial loss 3 or 4 months ago. Roxanne Modafferi, the Happy Warrior, she's fighting Jennifer Miles tonight. Ray Borg is coming back. I think this is his first fight back actually since the Conor McGregor bus incident like 2 years ago because he's had some injuries and stuff. But then the big ones that we have on the main card is we have Andre Arlovsky versus Big Ben Rothwell. That's going to be a banger.
Okay.
Alexander Hernandez is coming out of his second ever career loss. He lost to Cowboy Cerrone 3 months ago. He's fighting Francisco Trinaldo, who's another badass motherfucker, so it'll be cool to see if he can get a win over that guy. James Vick, who I couldn't possibly hate more, is fighting Dan Hooker. I'm very excited for that because I think Dan Hooker is going to fuck James Vick up, and then maybe James Vick will leave. We got Greg Hardy versus Juan Adams. I really hope Juan Adams wins this. Juan Adams is 5-1. Greg Hardy is 4-1. Greg Hardy is a piece of shit of a human being, former NFL player, beat the shit out of his wife/girlfriend, like horrifically. I don't understand why he signed, but he brings in some eyes, I guess. So that's a big fight at heavyweight. We've got Alexei Olenek is fighting Walt Harris. Walt Harris is a savage and just a monster. Alexei Olenek, same thing. That's another 2 heavyweights. So we got 2 big heavyweight fights back to back. And then the main event is a welterweight fight between Rafael dos Anjos, who's been looking very good since his loss to Colby Covington last year, and he's fighting Leon Edwards. So that's Rafael dos Anjos is 29-11 versus Leon Edwards, who's 17-3. So we'll see how that goes. Both of those guys are very, very, very talented fighters, and both should be in the conversation for coming up to a title fight in the near-ish future.
Yeah. Okay. That's how the rundown was supposed to go, but like after.
Yeah, exactly. I was able to that one. I was able to be a little bit more concise.
Yeah, man. I think we're coming down to the ground now.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that's the UFC for this week. The only other UFC news was a big fight was announced for UFC Vancouver, September 14th, and it is going to be headlined by Justin Gaethje versus Cowboy Donald Cerrone.
Okay.
If anybody who knows those two guys knows that they bang, like they fight hard, they take massive amounts of damage. Neither of them gets knocked out. They will fight till the death. My prediction for that fight, because I love them so much, is I'm not going to predict that either of them are going to win. My prediction is that they're both going to die, and the referee is not even going to make it out of the octagon alive.
They're both dying, and the ref's going to.
Yeah, and nobody is getting out of that cage alive.
Man.
Can't imagine a scenario where this all ends well. So just in advance, I'd like to say rest in peace, Herb Dean. We love you. You're the best referee ever.
Herb Dean?
But him or Marco Beltran are probably the only two referees I could see maybe surviving with only minor injuries.
Herb Dean's a beast, yo.
Oh, Herb Dean's a gangster. I fucking love Herb Dean.
He's fucking crazy.
I want to meet Herb Dean and shake his hand, because that motherfucker has such a hard job with like being the referee inside so many of these fights with killers, and he gets so much shit from people for like, you know, for making stoppage calls and stuff like that people just don't like. But that guy hasn't had a bad call in... Actually, I think he's had one bad call in, I'd say, the last 2 years.
Okay.
He's amazing. Some people like Big John McCarthy best. I think Herb Dean's the best referee ever. Big John is a very, very close second.
Yeah, Big John's pretty good too, but like Herb Dean wins it because his name's Herb.
Yeah.
Like,
And he's got dread.
you know what I mean? Full dread things, yo.
Yeah, man. And if you've ever seen, I think the knockout victories he had when he was fighting, like in the amateurs, no, he's not one to fuck with.
Nah, it doesn't look like it still.
No, he rains elbows, bro.
Oh, I've seen elbows rain. But that's another story for another time.
100%.
100.
Yeah, that's what I got this week. Anything else you wanna promote?
I mean,
or
I'm
shout
sitting
out?
here, like, I'm just getting ready. Like, if you notice that I'm a little antsy, I have to go pick up I have to go pick up Chronic Spirit and then go to the Falls to perform at Taps. But, yeah, I got to figure out a few things before I head out there. And then I am scheduled to be back out in St. Catharines after I perform at Taps to promote the show that we're having next week. So pray for me, bro. Pray for me, because I got to go to the gym tomorrow.
You know it, brother. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're gonna kill it anyway. So don't even worry about it.
All right, cool. Thank you for the words of motivation, and you keep crushing it, bro. Like I said, every time I think I know something about this, you show me otherwise. So like, let's keep this going. I'm gonna start up on Let's Beef Radio. I think I want to say August 2nd. If I can get the music up by then, it'll be August 2nd that I start up. But if not, I mean, look for me to start in September. But I want to say August, because you know what I mean. Yeah. I have that. I just gotta get a couple people lined up. I might get, like, I'm gonna be on Pug's playlist tomorrow. So search that up, Pug's playlist on Spreaker.com. I'll be on there. I believe it's Catalyst Radio, so / Catalyst Radio. But I'll put it on my page, and you guys can follow it from there. Man, August 3rd, performing at 421 Herkimer Street in Hamilton. And on July 27th, I'm performing at Detour Music Hall alongside Stoddy P, opening for Private Name, Private Number. Yeah, so that's what's up. The Recipe single release party. Like,
fuck yeah, man. Best gimmick in the game.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, showing you. Although I like mine with the whole holiday swag.
The what?
My holiday swag.
That's true. It's a pretty goddamn good gimmick.
Yeah, man. I don't know where it came up, but I just, you know, like, it's hard around certain civic holiday and Labor Day, bro. Those are two hard things, but I think I know what I'm gonna do for Labor Day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We'll discuss that off air. But this has been Tough Talks with Thili and Dablock. I am Dablock. He is Thili.
I'm Thili.
Yeah, bro.
Sorry. I got distracted by something.
It's all good. But yeah, whatever it is and wherever you be, make sure you tune in for the 1, 2, 3.
Boom.